There are two kinds of prisoners in this world, the ones behind bars and the ones who smile through locked doors. Tonight I will tell you the story of Libby Cross. She was a software engineer, a wife, a mother, and the ghost of the woman she used to be. Libby lived in Iron Vale City, a place so smart it knew your mood before you did. Door locks whispered open with a fingerprint. Cameras blinked above street lamps like ever-watching eyes, and every move, every breath left a trace in the cloud. To the outside world, Libby had it all. Her husband Eric was a rising politician. Their penthouse overlooked the city skyline. They wore matching smiles for press interviews, posted perfect family photos. But inside that glass and steel tower, Libby was unraveling. Eric never hit her. No. He was too clever for that. He controlled the bank accounts, the social calendars, the baby monitor, the thermostat, even her access to the mirror.
"Let me handle it,"
he'd say whenever she questioned something.
"You're not thinking clearly, Libby. You know how emotional you get."
He said he was protecting her, but she knew what it really was: containment. She tried to pretend. For Sophie's sake. Her daughter, just 8, always drawing birds in the corners of her notebooks.
"Birds fly away,"
she once told Libby.
"even when you don't think they can."
That's when Libby knew. She couldn't just endure anymore. She had to escape. She planned for months, used her work terminal to reroute ID data, withdrew untraceable crypto in bits, purchased burner phones under ghost credentials, erased her search history with more precision than she'd ever used at work. The exit plan was quiet, clean, digital. They would board the Sunday ferry, the only route that still allowed cash. It would take them to the coast, to a town with no cameras, no grid, no Eric. The morning of the escape, the sky was gray, clouds bruising the edge of the horizon. She dressed Sophie in layers, tucked her sketchbook into a duffel bag, left her wedding ring in the sink, and they left. No goodbyes, no note, just the echo of a door that no longer belonged to them. The ferry rocked gently as it pulled away from the city. Libby didn't look back. She sat near the rear, clutching Sophie's hand, her other hand gripping a paper map with no Wi-Fi. It was working until it wasn't. A ping! A red flash on the burner phone, a glitch. Her face had been auto-scanned at the subway entrance, just a flicker of her profile caught by a lens. It synced with a city-wide threat database, one Eric had access to. He had surveillance on everything. The alert had already been flagged. They weren't safe. Her heart raced. The gray sky above seemed heavier now. Even the water looked sharper, like blades beneath the surface. 6 invisible swords pressing into the sides of this boat, weighing it down. Libby glanced at Sophie, sleeping with her head on her lap. She looked peaceful, unaware. And in that moment, Libby felt the pull of 2 truths. 1, they were already too far to turn back. 2, they weren't far enough to be free. The boatman was an old man, silent most of the ride, but now he crouched beside her.
"I don't need to know who you're running from. But if you want off this ferry, now, I know a way."
She met his eyes for the first time.
"Just tell me what to do. I'm not going back."
They slipped below deck, through a narrow access hatch, out a rear gate, onto a maintenance raft the boatman had once used for repairs. Libby paddled, hard, hands blistering. They drifted to the wooded coastline unseen. Sophie stirred. Libby pressed her lips to her daughter's forehead and said softly,
"We're free now, baby. We're really free."
Behind them, the ferry was met by 2 black drones slicing through the sky. Too late. On shore, Libby collapsed. She looked out at the boat disappearing into mist. She had no home, no plan, no certainty. But for the first time in years, she was not being watched. She was not being owned. She was only herself. The Six of Swords is not about escape alone. It's about the journey between what you've survived and who you must become. The gray skies never promise a clear morning. The swords ride with you still. But in that boat, in that motion, something changes. You choose freedom over familiar pain, even if you have to lose everything else to find it. So I ask you, what would you risk to reclaim your own name, your own life? And if no one came to rescue you, would you still be brave enough to row? If this tale felt too close to home, maybe it's time to listen to what it's telling you. Sit with it. Write your own map. Start with one small thing you can do today to take your power back. And if you're in a place that feels too heavy to carry alone, reach out. Help exists even when it feels like no one's looking. And when you're ready, step into the boat. You won't be the first to cross, and you won't be alone when you do.